Raihan Vadra's exhibition is an immersive, almost overwhelming sensory experience, with visuals, sounds, and even scents that are supposed to contribute to an otherworldly, escapist encounter. There's no subtlety in the photographs, and nothing looks accidental. It's a through and through spectacle. There aren't that many inscriptions and few written explanations of what's on display. Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Today we are with Raihan Vadra. Raihan is a visual artist and currently we're at his third solo exhibition. So thank you for joining us.
Most welcome.
So for starters, could you just tell us what the exhibition is about and sort of sum it up for our viewers?
So the show is basically a mix of photography, installations, and sensory experience. The concept is to talk about comparison and how we are defined by our comparison. The show kind of goes into that, talks about what are the different ways we compare ourselves and compare other people and how we create definitions from comparison, and then kind of ask the question if that should be the case. And I've left it vague and subjective enough so that people can come up with their own conclusions. But yeah, that's the short concept.
And so your foray into the art world kind of started with wildlife photography, right? And you also have a portion of the exhibition that is dedicated to your wildlife photography. So could you also just tell us about the kind of influence that has played?
So I think it was the base, it was like the foundation of my steps into art, into photography. So I always try to pay homage to that a little bit in every show. So whether that's with one or two photos, this time also I've done a little bit of a larger installation. But I always, whenever I'm conceptualizing and designing, I always look at nature to be a very freeing force, to be a very liberating experience. So I was trying to put that into the shows.
And so you're a young artist, you're just kind of starting out your career as a professional artist, and at the same time you also have this kind of like family history. So how has this journey into like the professional art world been? Like, has being young combined with like any kind of family history, have those factors played any kind of role in how you've been perceived in the art world?
Yeah, I think obviously it's been easier in certain instances, like we discussed the other day. It has been easier in certain instances because sometimes, doors that wouldn't necessarily open, they do open. But obviously then being a young artist, it also has its challenges about trying to make it on your own. Also trying to deal with people's preconceived notions, any ideas that they have of you that don't necessarily stem from anything that you have done before. So I think it's a bit of a balancing act.
And kind of taking off on this, I think one of the most interesting and engaging parts of the exhibition is that kind of room that looks at this kind of culture of like voyeurism in which we all live in. So could you just tell us the meaning behind that? Why you felt like that was something that was important to include?
So I think, in today's day and age when there's that impact of social media, and we're all living in a world where we're constantly scrolling, I find that we're always watching people, always judging people, always, looking at how we compare with other people. And I think I just wanted to translate that in a very subtle fashion, so that the eye is where people are just watching, and also the different photos where people are watching others doing mundane things, but also in the other photos, the subject in each photo changes. And it's a rotating thing, which basically says that, yeah, you are being watched, but you are also doing the watching, you're doing the comparing.
And lastly, just to kind of understand your trajectory, so from your first solo exhibition to now, and whatever exhibitions you'll be doing in the future, how has the transition been like in terms of your work, and what do you see your work evolving as in the future?
So I think it's obviously been a huge learning curve for me. With different shows, there are different challenges and different things that I learn. My own practice has kind of evolved a lot over the last 3-4 years. I can visually see that with the photography I'm putting out, but also with the way we're designing and installing certain things. In terms of the future, I think I actually haven't thought about it a lot because the last sort of 10 months doing this show have been pretty exhausting. They've been pretty consuming. But I know that I want to take a break for a little bit before I exhibit again. So let's see how it evolves in the future.
The exhibition is showing at Bikaner House till the 4th of February and is running as one of the India Art Fair's parallel programs. Thank you, Raihan, for joining us.
Thank you so much.